Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Mark Dawes. It's Friday afternoon, the end of the week. I just thought I'd do a little podcast for you because I've had a couple of interesting conversations with people this week, and it's to do with accreditation, actually, training accreditation. And one of the conversations I had was with a really interesting and intelligent guy because he's doing his due diligence and looking into the training that they're currently doing in their organization. And it, one of the things that cropped up is there's certain techniques that the training provider is teaching as a matter of course as part of their package that he doesn't need or he doesn't want taught. And there's some other things that he wants adapted and some other techniques he has specifically for the type of client base they have that he needs the training provider to actually deliver for him, which is different to the current syllabus they're doing. And the reason he contacted me was he's been told by the training provider that they can't change the training program because if they did that, it wouldn't be legally defensible. Now, I know if Trevel Henry's listening to this, he'll be laughing right now because the amount of times that we've had a conversation about this is unbelievable because we hear this time and time again. And the fact of the matter is if anyone, including us, was delivering training that didn't meet the needs because it wasn't in line with a training needs analysis or an assessment of risk, then it's not legally defensible anyway. It's like going into a shop to buy a suit and the guy saying, well, what size are you? And you say, well, I'm a 38-inch chest and a 32-inch waist. And the guy saying, well, I'm ever so sorry, the only suits we have are a 44-inch chest and a 28-inch waist. You'll have to fit inside the suit. Or going to a shoe shop and saying, well, I'm a size 9 shoe. I'm sorry, we only sell size 8. So there's something wrong with your foot. You get stuff that's fit for purpose. You buy stuff that fits. And I still find it bizarre today that people can't change or adapt their training programs to meet the needs of what the commissioning agency requires. And sometimes as well, the myths and misconceptions that abound with this create a problem for the commissioning agency. So if any commissioning agency engages someone to do the training, doesn't matter what that system is, and this is including ours, if that training is not fit for purpose, then they're liable if something goes wrong. It's not necessarily the training provider that's going to be hauled into court. It's going to be the commissioning agency, the organization that commissioned the training, for not doing their due diligence in making sure that the training meets the specific needs to control the specific risks and provide the service that's required by the organization. And I just, when I had the conversation today with this guy and he told me what he was doing, I actually said to him, I said, look, I've got to stop you here. I'm absolutely delighted that you're doing what you're doing. Because he was quite apologetic. He was saying to me, I hope you don't mind, but we've got this training provider at the moment and we certainly don't want these techniques. And if we, and we want some new things done. And, if we came to you, would you mind if we had to change the training program? Would you work with us to develop some new skills, or would you advise us on what we could take out? And if we took stuff out, would you be offended? I said, no, not at all. That's exactly what you should be doing. And I said to this person, I said, I just wish more people are doing what you're doing today because it would make things a lot safer all the way around. And he was talking about accreditation as well, and he was saying, well, do we have to have specific accreditation? Do we have to train with someone who's got this certification? What accreditations do you have? So I said, well, look, what you've got to do is train with someone that can provide you the training you need to meet the specific risks that you've got to help control those risks and minimize the risks. That's what you've got to do. Certification, accreditation is secondary to that. Now, I can speak from my experience that when I've done cases for court, done expert witness work, accreditation and certification is hardly ever brought up. The issue that's brought up is, was the force that was used reasonable in the circumstances? That's the most common question that's asked. And when I get asked to write reports for court, that's the question that I'm asked to answer in the report. Was the force used reasonable in the circumstances? So, if you are a commissioning agency listening to this, you need to make sure that whoever you engage to do your training can provide you with training that meets your specific needs. And if that training provider needs to change the training program, to add stuff in and leave stuff out, that's what they need to do. Forget about accreditations and certifications, including ours. They're great to have because it proves you're working through a structured process and that you've got internal and external quality assurance going on. But if it's too rigid and inflexible, then it's not worth a carrot. It really isn't. And there's a lot going on out there at the moment with drives towards training providers having to have a specific certification and complying with specific standards. And at the end of the day, when it hits the fan, it's not going to be those agencies that are going to be called into question. It's going to be you as the commissioning agency. So I just thought I'd leave you that one this week. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your life, and I'll speak to you soon. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. And if you want to share this podcast, please feel free to share. All right, you guys take care. Speak to you soon.